Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 coming at you with another Transformers video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the DNA Designs DK56A, excuse me, Motor Master, Animated Motor Master upgrade kit. Man, blah, 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 so a little backstory on this is that DNA kits, DNA Design did a kit for this guy in like an all black and gray color scheme, and from what I've heard, they said they were never gonna do it in a menasor themed color scheme, which this is. And then I guess they changed their mind, and a lot of people were really upset about it because they bought the first one thinking this wasn't going to happen. I personally just skipped out on the first set because I wasn't interested in it, but I did want this version because I thought it looked really neat. And obviously, it's a homage to the, G1 combiner. So I did pick this one up, but, it is what it is. I just kind of feel like I need to mention that. But anyway, moving on, here we have him all kitted up in his vehicle mode. And fortunately, there's not a lot of excess with this kit. Really, the only parts that are left over afterwards are the original axe weapon and the original light piece on top, because you get a replacement for that. Otherwise, everything pretty much fits in the trailer. With the exception of kinda this, but this is a pre-order bonus gold sword. I'm not entirely sure the significance of this. I know that they did it with their other menasor upgrade kit for the skeleton combiner. Maybe it's like from the comics or something. I actually do not know. So if you know what the significance of the golden sword is, please let me know. I would love to find out. But I did just kind of have it plugged into the gun barrel back here, but whichever sword you want to keep does just plug into the top here, as you see. But we'll take a look at the box here. Here we have the menasor helmet and his weapons crisscrossed in the back. DK56A master upgrade kits. We get the same thing on the side, just the name again on the top. Again, same on both sides. Some legal jargon on the bottom, and a brief look at the kit contents here. So there is all of that for the box. And we do get a lovely instruction / assembly manual. So there is that. And again, this is, a very parts for me set, but it's because, it's basically, a bunch of different upgrade pieces combining into the trailer. So it actually, feels warranted in this particular case, and I'm perfectly fine with it how it is. But yeah, as you can see, we do get that different top piece that sort of simulates that sort of like extra set of like windows he had on top of the truck. You do kind of just have the gun sticking out the back and a giant sword on the top. You do have these sort of rocket pieces, sitting on the side. But overall, and the wheels here do kind of get stuck on this, but he does still roll, mainly using the very back wheels and the very front wheels, but hey, he rolls. He rolls. That's the important thing. I do have to point out that it does seem like there's a lot less paint detailed. Like on the original, this is all silver. Actually, we'll go ahead and just do that comparison. Here he is with the original Optimus version, just so you can see how they look. And yeah, you can see this is all decked out in silver, whereas this is not. And I'm not sure if like maybe that's because they had to put more paint into like the limb pieces, or if they just didn't do it. I don't know. I don't work there, but overall, it's not too big of a deal, because I'm probably gonna leave him in the robot mode most of the time. But yeah, that's how he stacks up with the original version. And yeah, really looking forward to the Nemesis version that is, supposedly in the works. So, and we'll do one other vehicle comparison. Here he is next to Commander Ultra Magnus. Do it like this. just so you can see how he stacks up. So he's kind of like leader class size with the kit. Yeah, again, this kit was, super phenomenal with Optimus, and I'm super impressed with it on Motormaster here. It is a little different, there are some different pieces, which, does make it feel more unique, but overall, still very impressed with it. But I think that's about enough of the vehicle mode. We'll go ahead and start getting him transformed. So, first of all, we're just going to pop off this sword, and the joint actually came off just fine that time. First time it took a little wiggling. These you could just sort of wiggle off, wiggle these off, come back here, wiggle these off, wiggle these off. Again, this just completely disassembles. And then we want to open this up, and the headpiece does just kind of like stick in there. It doesn't lock in anywhere, but it's got like a nice little perfect storage spot right here, so I don't think it's a big deal. But yeah, and then we're just gonna sort of pull the whole trailer section off, put all this over here for the moment, and we'll just do a real quick transformation, get him into robot mode. So first we're gonna take these feet and we're gonna bring them up, take the feet, bring them up, and we're just gonna detach the legs, come on, jeez. And if they haven't already, separate them at the knee, fold these inside. Also, for anyone who isn't already aware, Byway is doing a knockoff of the animated Optimus with the DNA kit, and it's going to have a different head pulled from the original animated Voyager. So I'm looking forward to getting that and reviewing that, because it's going to be cheaper than the official and the DNA kit together. It's going to be about the price of the official figure. So I'll get to have one for display in robot, one for display in fire truck mode. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, we're going to separate his arms, bring these wheels up, twist the torso around and down, bring these in, make sure to tab the wheels into their little slots. Where is it? Should be here somewhere. There we go. Make sure those get in there properly. Plug in the windshield. Orient the arms. And bring that down. And we don't need to bring out the hands just because we would just put them right back away, because we're not looking at the base robot, we're looking at the full combined form. But there is essentially how you want him in his robot mode. And we're going to come here and finish disassembling this. We're going to flip up these panels, and we're going to take these off, fold this all the way forward, open this up so we can flip out the feet, close that back, flip this all the way forward, open this up, flip out the feet, and close that back up. And we're going to come here and pull these out to the side, just sort of wiggle them loose, open up the wings. Then we want to separate the gauntlet pieces. Then we want to just bring down this handle. There we go. Then this, I believe we want to fold this like so, and this little tab for the sword will hide away in this little slot. And then you just fold it like that, and there we have his big old gun. And there we have everything ready to assemble. So first things first, we're going to take these feet pieces and we're just going to plug that little port into this on the bottom of his foot. And anyone who's handled the Optimus version of this, most of this is going to be pretty familiar. Then we slide this over his kneecap, or it'll pop off for some reason. There we go. Slide that over the knee. we do the same here. And yeah, mine is rather weak in the hips / knee joints, which was apparently an issue with the original Optimus figure. So yeah, a lot of times this is... well, actually, they're holding pretty well this time. I don't know. But yeah, just be aware that it does... some of his joints won't be able to hold all the weight on their own. But let's see. Okay, yeah, this is the left hand. And we just plug that in like so. And again, this just goes into this little port here, with this little peg here. And that. There we go. So there we have those main pieces. Then we're gonna come here and plug this into his back, and these little posts right here are gonna go into these circular ports, and then there are little square holes here and here for these posts up top. You want to make sure that this is below it. Just want to make sure we had enough range to see. And this whole torso just came untabbed. We'll make sure that this is all properly secured. There we go. And we'll tab this on, just like that. And then for the wings, it tells you to put these bits on you can either put them on the end of the wings, or you can put them up here where the fire or the water cannons went on the original Optimus. Personally, I think they look a little better up here. And they do, well, actually we'll get to that in a little bit. Then we want to take, get back here, the rocket pieces, and you plug them into these ports on the shoulders, like so, and like so. Then this, the helmet, will snap onto his square head, and this part goes in between these two ridges, and it'll, when you get it all the way on there, it'll snap in a little bit. You kind of have to push it back and down. You'll feel when it like sort of snugs into place, but there is that. Then we'll stick the sword in this hand, and we will stick the gun in his other hand. Didn't quite get it in there. Come on, his fingers keep opening instead. There we go. And there we have our animated menasor. And he does look very nice. I do like the way this turned out. So, a few things. We do get a couple little features here that I was going to mention. You can flip these up right here. And he does have some hidden missiles. So, you get some little extra weaponry there. And I do believe the gun is blast compatible. Yes, it is. Which I also believe that was true for the previous kit. So there's that. And yeah, you can see it's a bit heavy for his joints. But he does also have articulated hands. He does have opening hands, which is neat. And as you can see, they did actually give his hands proper multicoloring, which I believe was part of the original animation. I could be wrong about that though. It has been a little while. A couple of small things to mention though that are not so great. I mean, again, there is the fact that, you know, the joint tolerances are just not quite built for this kit, and they were already, you know, a little iffy on the original figure, as it were, especially on my copy, which apparently had a lot of the original run issues that the Optimus had. But yeah, the other thing is that these shoulder pieces, to, you know, complete the arm look, his shoulder rotation is right here, so it actually kind of blocks that off. If you twist it too much, it'll basically pop it off. and it didn't quite fall off there, but that does sort of hinder his shoulder rotation, or bicep swivel, I should say. But other than that, there isn't too much I have to say negatively about this guy. Again, I was aware of the joint issues going in. That has been, a thing that was pretty well established on the original kit with Optimus. But again, I think that, given how amazing this looks and everything, it doesn't bother me that much. And again, like, this is definitely something that is really just, it really cranks the figure up to 11 for me. Fortunately, the sword is light enough that he can hold that without issue. And again, this is just a really great piece for the shelf. But we will do just a quick couple of comparisons. So first, here he is next to the unupgraded Optimus, just to give you an idea of how much bigger he gets. And for a quick side-by-side variation, here he is next with the Legacy Menasor. I'll bring that up. So there you can see how he stacks up with the full-blown combiner. And I know DNA did a kit for this guy, and I want to get the kit for this guy, but I just haven't had the budget for it as of recently. But hopefully I'll be able to get it sometime soon, because I've heard really good things about that kit as well. And I know they've also just announced their one for Devastator and a hint at their Superion, so really looking forward to some of the offerings that DNA has coming up here in the near and somewhat distant future. But yeah, overall, again, I'm really glad that I didn't bother with the first kit, because, again, I really just didn't care for the overall color scheme. It didn't wow me the same way the Optimus one did. But this is different. This really, like, it's such a cool concept to give him that, full combiner motif, despite the fact that it's, just a trailer upgrade. But, again, some people were upset because apparently DNA said they weren't going to do this, and then they did, but not really anything we can do about that. I mean, there's a good chance that they did it because so many people asked about it. So it might be the fact that people wanted it that made them change their minds, so it's hard to say. Again, I don't work there. But overall, if you like the Menasor combiner look, and you still really like the base figure of the animated Motormaster, I think this is really just an amazing kit to pick up. And again, it has some significant differences from the original Optimus version. Like the rocket launches instead of the fire hoses, the big rifle instead of the water cannon. Also sword. But yeah, overall, just a really great kit and a new spin on it as well. Just overall, I just, any version of this kit I would recommend, whichever one suits your fancy the most. That said, it is a little bit of an expensive kit. It is like a $60 kit, where the original figure was like $35. I think you can actually get the Menasor on TF Source right now for like $15. So if you don't have that and you really want to get this kit for him, there's a cheap option there. But yeah, and again, I believe DNA has already confirmed that they will be making a Nemesis version of this set. So it'll probably be the Optimus version though. Either way, I just love this kit overall and can't recommend it enough. So I think I've sweet talked it enough, and I'll go ahead and wrap up this review. And this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.